The ANC will hold a fundraising dinner ahead of its January 8th statement tomorrow to be delivered by President Cyril Ramaphosa. Joining us to give us a preview of tonight's gala dinner is Mzwandile Mbeje, is SABC Politics Editor, and of course he's at the Cape Town ICC Centre. Good evening, Mzwandile. Just give us the very latest from where you are. What's happening this hour?
Well, a very good evening to you, Mfundo, and the viewers. You are correct. The ANC will host a gala dinner to raise funds. Remember, tomorrow they are celebrating 113 years of existence, and they do this on a rotational basis. And I remember they were last here in Cape Town, Mfundo, I think in 2015. But they hold this event under totally different circumstances. There, they were still a party which was the governing party alone at a national level, but things have changed. But maybe before we go on with some of that history and the context, let me bring in the member of the NEC here, who's also the head of the Policy and Research, Phoebe Potgieter-Gubule, to basically tell us about this event that will be taking place tomorrow. But of course, before even tomorrow, so there were other activities that had been done to mobilize people of the Western Cape to attend the event of the 113. Welcome to the SABC. We were speaking earlier and saying, well, these are tough conditions for everyone, particularly for the ANC.
Of course, the 113 anniversary of the ANC takes place under difficult situations. We have not got the absolute majority last year in the elections, and then had to work together with the other parties to form a government of national unity. But at the same time, if one look at the history of January 8th, this is not the first difficult January 8th that we've went through. The time of exiles, 1972, when O.R. Tambo for the first time instituted the January 8th anniversary and statement. And in subsequent years, 76, 77 was a difficult year, the banning of the BC organizations. I was reminding the other day, 1988. The UDF was banned, people were restricted, 10,000 of people in prison. But this is special circumstances, and the statement of the president will have to speak to that.
Especially because the Western Cape is the province that, as the party, you've not been in power here for quite a number of years. And interestingly, your votes have been going down, not only here, but everywhere else. Yeah. So do you see the light at the end of the tunnel, or the ANC will have to do something completely different?
Well, we think there's that any setback is an opportunity to look at how do we do better, and how do we come back in a manner that is different from where we come from. If one look at the reasons why the ANC lost the elections, it's got to do with the economy and unemployment. It's got to do with the quality of governance and public services. It's got to do with people's confidence in the movement and the challenges of corruption and social distance. And all three of those things our January 8th statement will address. What are we going to do about those issues? And how do we then regain the trust of the population? The Western Cape is part of South Africa, and we always say that the reason why we rotate January 8th in all different provinces is because when the ANC was formed in 1912, people came from all over South Africa, from the Cape Province, from the Eastern Cape, from KwaZulu-Natal, from all over the country to form Congress. Even from other parts of Southern Africa, Malawi, as far back as Malawi. And in a sense, this is what we need to regain, that sense of the ANC as a national movement that belongs to everybody.
Well, in terms of your fundraising, let's be specific. So have you set the targets this time around? Sometimes we would know that sitting next to the president will cost so much, and to the deputy president. So this time around, so how have you structured that?
Well, I know that the packages for tables is between 200 and 300, 400,000. What people pay for a table. And of course, the tables for the president and the deputy president are at a premium. But the January 8 gala dinner, as well as the golf event that the President hosts, are usually major fundraising activities of the ANC in a year. And as you're aware, political parties are not for profits. They raise funds through their membership fees, their levies, as well as through fundraising and donations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Well, Mfundo, there, it's Phoebe Potgieter, who is the NEC member, basically saying they know what to do, and the statement that the President will read tomorrow will speak to that, to address the challenges facing the country.
Now, Mzwandile, we see a lot of people there. There's still a bit of movement behind. When do you expect the gala dinner to officially get underway?
Well, in terms of what we have been told is that by 6 o'clock everyone should have been gathered here. But, you know, sometimes people are not always on time. But my guess is that perhaps by 7 o'clock we can start to see the formal proceedings get underway. And a number of people are already streaming in, and security checks are being done. So clearly there is some movement. The question is, will they be all in by the time 6 o'clock, or even,
7 o'clock,
by the time
yes.
7 o'clock starts? Because already 6 o'clock, yes, because 6 o'clock already, so they were supposed to have started arriving, but they are here, but they have to start at least by 7 o'clock. And then, of course, we'll await the arrival of the President.
All right. We'll most certainly touch base with you at 7 o'clock to get the very latest. That's our politics editor, Mzwandile Mbeje, there, who's monitoring the ANC's gala dinner, of course, ahead of their January 8th statement to be delivered by President Cyril Ramaphosa tomorrow.